I say, you guys are doing a great thing. It's such an uncomfortable topic to talk about, especially for a guy, young guys in their early 20s. And, I'm glad that, I could tune in and, listen to you guys.
Spencer Kobren's The Bald Truth.
What's happening, guys? I just realized I did not embed... What's that noise? I did not embed the... That was you this time. I did not embed the program into the Bald Truth website, which I'm going to have to do live while I am opening up the show. But I want to say, Joe.
Yes.
I had a very interesting conversation with a patient earlier today. Oh. And this is a patient who went overseas, but not to Turkey. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
He had a very large hair transplant session. I'm not going to tell you how many grafts.
I'll probably figure that one out.
And now he believes, at least to the touch, that his scalp is very hard to the touch in many areas. And this is about 6 months or so after the procedure.
Right.
Now, as the expert you are, what do you think is causing this, I don't know, hardening
Anomaly?
of the scalp?
Yes.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenon. Mystery. No, it depends on a couple of things. Like, one, how large of an area is he talking about? Like the entire top of his scalp or the entire recipient area?
No, it's the entire donor area. Sides, back, nape, all the way up to the crown.
Really?
Like parchment paper.
Right. And this is, I'm assuming, an FUE procedure.
FUE only, not that far
FUE
out.
only.
Not like, years down the road.
Yeah. And it's firm or hard to the touch?
Firm to the touch.
Okay.
He didn't use the word firm, but I'm assuming when he said hard, he meant firm.
Yeah. He didn't mean like
like wood.
Knock on it. And it
Yeah.
Yeah, like wood. And then I would ask, I would ask him, is there any sort of tenderness or lack of sensation, numbing, anything like that? Did he talk about any of those issues?
Those are all questions that I asked, and he said there is some numbness, but it seems to be dissipating.
Mm-hmm. Well, my gut right off the bat says, number one, you didn't say how many grafts, but my gut would tell me that there was a significant number of extractions.
Let's just put it this way. It was a lot more than 3,000.
Okay. So, all right. So that's my assumption, that's what's potentially the cause, that there were.
And also it was a 2-day surgery apparently.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So without knowing any more details, it tells me that maybe it's too many grafts that the scalp could handle, and the response to all these extractions would be excessive scar tissue. Now, it would also depend on the size of the punch. If it was a normal size punch or larger, like say 1 millimeter on up.
This is supposed to be some sort of according to this patient, it's some sort of a unique device, but they're all punches.
Oh God. Oh God.
What?
Oh God. Okay. No more clues, please.
But all of these guys have their own unique devices at this point.
Okay. And I get it. And no, it's okay. So let's assume it's a small punch.
It goes into a well-known device. How's that?
Okay, fine. Jesus Christ. So, let's assume a normal size punch, or maybe even a small punch. If they're too close together to be able to,
by the way,
extract.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live.
I'm looking at myself. I'm like, wow, I look fucking young. And that's not me. That's like from 19. Okay, here we go.
It's not a replay from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me finish. So it could be extractions taken too close to each other, and still having to radiate throughout the entire safe and marginally safe donor zone up into the peripheral of the crown, like you're saying. I would ask if the patient scars easily or too much in cases outside of surgery. Like if he cuts his finger, is there any sort of potential keloid activity or just some sort of excessive scar tissue compared to the average person? Because if that's the case, then maybe that's the kind of reaction he's having to all these extractions. It could be several things. That's all I can say based on the limited info that you shared.
Jay Jones, go F yourself. Just kidding. This is what I'm learning, and this is what I know. The guy is already suffering from slow hypoxia. Period. That's just the reality. And anyone who goes in and has these super mega sessions, and even just like a reasonable, like what's considered a normal session now, 5,000 grafts, which is not normal. They have no idea what they're doing. They think, oh, my donor looks good. It wasn't decimated. It wasn't over-harvested. Well, surprise, unless you are a great healer, unless all the stars are aligned, you're damaging your scalp. The scalp does not have enough time to remodel, period. Maybe you can have 3,000, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 grafts done at one time, depending on the size of your head and depending on how far they're able to separate the dissection and then obviously the extractions. But I say this all the time. They're taking a 360 degree punch. It's a round area. You're disrupting these tiny vascular, connections. So there's vascular disruption. And it doesn't always heal perfectly. And in most cases, if you take out those many grafts at one time, your body takes a significant time to heal. And because of that, it may lay down more fibrotic tissue in a larger area. And then there's less blood flow overall, less nutrients. And that donor reserve begins to miniaturize. It may not miniaturize completely. And it may take a decade or more. But it's getting weaker and weaker.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about last week when we had that patient that was talking about his donor scar, where he was having healing problems, or pain. We'll just say he was having pain in his donor area. 2.5 years after his surgery, and I asked him if he had a thinning immediately above that incision line, and he said yes.
I know, Joe Tillman with a crystal ball. I get it.
That's what I was talking about with the scar tissue not deleting the blood flow, but reducing it to the immediate area. And some of the hairs can't handle it. There's not enough blood flow for all the hairs in that area. So the herd is thinned, so to speak.
Yeah.
And there are hairs that survive, but they miniaturize. Some hairs shed, don't come back. And that's why we see in some cases along an incision line in a FUT surgery, post-surgery, we'll see a lot of times temporary shock loss, but sometimes it manifests into permanent shock loss as well. And that's one reason why that happens. But in FUE. And that's actually another question I would have is, did he talk about his donor area not recovering fully?
No, he thinks that it's recovered fully.
Okay. Yeah. Well, good. Good for him.
But anyway, it was an interesting conversation. I mean, he's relatively happy with the current results, but he feels like there's something wrong with his scalp. It's just never felt the same. He says it's continuing to get the feeling of it, the sensation, and to the touch, continuing to get worse. And it's a pretty short period of time.
Yeah.
So I told him that's what the Jack Daniels is for, and just cross your fingers and hope it all stays on your head.
He's got plenty of time for that healing process to to be considered in the envelope of time or the window of time that it takes to properly heal. So, just stay strong, stay patient, and contact Spencer in 6 months.
How about
Update
this?
him.
Contact Tillman and leave me alone.
I don't know the case. You've already established that connection, man. You've already got that trust. You've already got that foundation laid. I'd just be interfering.
I try not to do this anymore, but sometimes I get these crazy, like really desperate.
You open that door, man.
Desperate
You open that door.
DMs on Instagram. And I'm just like, oh man, am I going to do this? Am I going to speak to this guy? I'm going to let this guy in. Most of the time, I would say, there's some relative normal, they might be normal. But sometimes, man, you get a real lunatic and you're just like, why did I allow this into my life? Why did I allow this into my life? I'm trying to help the guy. There's actually a guy that's posting publicly on my Instagram. I'm trying to do two things at once here. And let's see if I got that show up and running on The Bald Truth. And first he asked me, he says, and I think I mentioned this, and guys, hold on, I'll take your calls in a second. That he decided to get on one of these topical combinations of, topical finasteride and minoxidil and all this stuff. But he wasn't losing his hair to begin with, but he just wanted to maintain what he had. He was concerned about it. Now he believes that and he may be, I'm not saying he's not, suffering from severe depression, mood issues, and sexual dysfunction. And he stopped even though he stopped taking the topical. And I'm trying to give him kind of an objective view of what may be happening and what he should potentially do, including, checking for nocturnal erections, maybe having a sleep study, or there's devices, this and that. And the guy's getting kind of hostile with me. Basically saying, well, you don't believe that this could happen? I'm like, I know what's happening to you. I know what's happening to you. But it's unusual. It's a relative anomaly, especially with topicals, even though, yeah, I get it. The FDA put out these warnings because people were getting side effects from topicals, from Hims and Keeps and all that stuff. It happens. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean it's happening to you. So do this. There was a study, it was relatively small, but it was done in 1995. 20 men, I think the ages were 41 to 65, on 5 milligrams of Proscar. And it was a double-blind placebo study. And they basically put in these guys' heads that this medication could cause sexual dysfunction. No one talks about this study. I got to find. I just remembered it actually as I'm speaking. A long story short, they tested these guys, half in the placebo group, half in, was it 20 or 40? I forget. Anyways, it was placebo and on finasteride. Mm-hmm. Every guy on finasteride had nighttime tumescence, like they got hard-ons. And during the day, they thought that they had the inability to get it up. Mm-hmm. This is online. Do your due diligence. I don't know why no one ever talks about this study. Now, it's a relatively small study, but it was proof positive that at least in all of these people who believed they had side effects back in 1995, 3 years after the drug was approved, all of them were fully functional.
Interesting.
I think it's very interesting.
Yes. I'd like to see the link for that.
I'll send it to you. I have to look
it up. In fact, I'll share it. I'll share it in the description after the broadcast, so you guys can come back and check that out.
Now I got to find it. It just came out of the deep recesses of my memory. I'll find it while I'm talking to you on the show. Phone number.
You don't need to. You can look afterwards. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm going to go get drunk afterwards, man. I don't want to work.
You expect me to look at hair stuff when we're done with this? Jesus Christ, it's 2 hours out of the week. I got to dedicate this. You want me to dedicate another 5 minutes? My God.
I may only have another year of the sculpture. I'm going to use it to the best of my ability.
The quaff.
Yeah. I was painting my head today, and I'm just like, Like yesterday, it didn't seem like I wasn't wearing any paint yesterday, and for some reason, I looked fully covered. I don't know if it was a shampoo or what. I'm just like, wow, I got to use more paint. And when I say the shampoo, I mean the shampoo made my head look thicker yesterday.
Yes, and I understand what you're doing. You're setting it up for that moment that you put up a sign, "Gone fishing." I'm selling shampoo now. I get it.
Oh, no,
I caught it.
That's not what gone fishing is gone fishing. Selling shampoo is like, look, I'm selling out. I hope you continue to enjoy the show. And no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to care. Okay. Here's a hair loss shampoo that I am selling personally with my mug on it.
With that said, I'd like to introduce the new Hair Transplant Mentor branded shampoo.
Yeah. No one's going to give a shit. This is what I've learned.
Order line is open soon.
You know when I learned this? I learned this when physicians were willing to pay a pornographer for leads. That's when I learned this.
Yes, we understand. We understand that there's some questionable activities going on, but we're getting leads.
Yeah, but whatever, we're getting leads. Who cares if the guy likes, clamps on his nipples? It's not my problem.
And making films about it.
Right.
Oh, God.
We're getting leads. What a industry, man. Leads. These young guys have no idea what this is really all about. And it's hilarious to me. Let's see who this is. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from? Caller, you're on the air.
Hello.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hello, guys. It's Roy calling from UK.
What's your name?
How are you all doing? It's Roy calling from UK.
Hey, caller from the UK. I don't know. I can't understand your name. Maybe Joe got that.
I didn't catch it. Can you repeat it one more time?
Roy. It's a Portuguese name. It's very difficult to pronounce it. Yeah.
Oi.
R-U-I.
Yeah. R-U-I.
Roy. Roy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah, Roy.
What's happening, bro?
Hi, Mike.
How are you guys doing?
All right.
Good.
It's good to be the first one. Because here it's quite late. I was waiting just for the show because you guys helped me quite a lot in the past. A few times that I called and, I've been taking Propecia for 5 years, 5 to 6 years. And, maintain my hair loss is really stable now. I think I didn't lose any ground or anything on my hair. I am a repair patient. Although in my crown, I sent you some photos, Joe, for your Instagram. I don't know if you have time just to see my crown because I don't want to add anything else at the moment. But, I always heard there's a lot of guys now adding oral minoxidil. And I don't know if I should add it or not, or I should stick with my dose of finasteride 1 milligram a day.
Well, here's the thing.
Why do you look so familiar? Have we spoken before? Have you sent me photos before?
Yes, we did. And I'm a repair case. One of the photos that Spencer put in his Instagram is one of my photos actually that I sent. I went to Turkey. And after I called you guys because my first hair transplant was so bad, and
you're the guy. You're the guy that actually did something with the ISHRS as well on their website.
Yeah, I ended up going to Dr. Lopanzula. This was years ago, and he ended up to fix my hairline, and I'm grateful because now I look normal. But now I don't want to do any mistake or add anything, and I just want you, if your guys' experience, and expertise, just to tell me that if I should continue with 1 milligram, because I'm 39, I'm almost 40 next year, and I just want to see if adding minoxidil, of course, can cause some shedding. I'm aware of that, but in the long run...
So back up, Roy, back up and tell me again about your current situation. I'm looking at the photos, so can I show the photos on camera, the crown photos?
Yeah, of course. Yes, yes.
Okay.
My crown always been like that, since I am a young child. I don't know if it's just the shape my hair grows in the crown. When it's wet, it's a little bit visible, but when I look in the mirror, even to my partner, when she sees, she said it's nothing. It's just the shape of my hair. Even when I go to the barber, but I don't know if it's only on my head, or if you guys could give me your
First of all,
opinion, please.
it looks good, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's damp hair too. And here it is, damp and is combed.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, and here's a close up.
My father is a Norwood 7, and he started losing the hair when he was 31. And I'm 39 at the moment. I'm the only one in my family that is keeping my hair, because my brother is almost a Norwood 4 now, and he's younger than me.
Right. So Rui, back to my question.
Yep.
What kind of loss are you? I'm looking at the photos. What does this represent? Does this represent a thinning that's going on from maybe a few years ago, or is it holding stable and you just want to make it better? What's going on?
I don't know, Joe. I think it could be the shape of my hair, or I don't notice, because in my life I have lots of stress. I am a nurse, and I'm lots of stress, especially at work. And and sometimes when I'm showering, I see more hair than usual. But when I'm styling my hair and everything, when I go to the barber, everything looks fine. But we just notice when it's already too late, possibly. And I don't know if I should add something or just increase my dose of finasteride, because I'm a little bit panicking. Reaching almost. 40.
Are you taking generic finasteride, or are you taking name brand Proscar or Propecia?
Since the beginning, I listen to you guys, and I always pay extra. I say to my pharmacy, I want always take the brand name. I prefer to pay. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It's always the brand name.
Right.
Propecia.
Yeah, Propecia. Okay.
On the past, I try. Even before I was taking finasteride, even before I was suggested to take finasteride, I try topical minoxidil. But gave me like a vasovagal episodes, like when that I feel really drowsy, and I think it was because of my blood pressure, because can lower is a vasodilator, isn't it? Can lower my blood pressure, and I don't know if oral. Of course, I can have these side effects as well, but it depends on the dose. Or I'm just a little bit confused. I don't know what I should do, guys. I don't want to do any mistake. I just want to try to keep as long as I can.
Of course. If you're not seeing any thinning, like you said that you see more hairs than you think is usual or normal in the when you're washing your hair, and that's fine. But it's all relative to what you think is normal. You may or may not have realistic expectations on that line. I don't know. But the bottom line is, like, always break it down to its most simplistic point as far as the problem goes. And in your case, you just said that you're not noticing any loss. You're just seeing hairs in the shower after you get out.
Yes.
There are no other symptoms of loss. You've said that your crown doesn't look like it's getting worse, so you don't want to do surgery again. So the question is, so you're asking the question, should I up my dosage or add minoxidil? I think you should do nothing. You're doing everything right. You're not seeing any sort of degradation of your coverage. Don't panic. Just stay the course. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm not a doctor, but it seems like a common sense or a sensible approach to me. There's a saying in English: if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Of course.
You're fine where you are. Like you're happy with your hair now. Am I right? Did you say that you're happy with your hair?
Yeah, I'm very happy now. To be honest, to be
don't risk it, dude. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. Don't risk it. Don't add any more finasteride. Don't add another medication like minoxidil. Don't risk it. because you can go through, a secondary telogen effluvium from increasing your dosage of finasteride, of Propecia, and of course adding another modality like minoxidil. Don't just stay the course. You're good. You're beautiful, baby. Looking awesome.
I would have to agree with Joseph. Look, I want a little more hair. I feel like I'm losing ground, but I also, I up my finasteride, and I kind of feel like it's okay. It's kind of stabilized. So, do I screw with it just to try to get back some of what I think I lost in the last 5 years? No, I'm not going to do it. I use a little more paint, and honestly, I don't have any idea how much longer I'm going to live. So,
because you're still young, Spencer. You look young. You look good. You look in shape.
Well, thank you.
It's just
that wall.
What am I?
But the wall.
My chopped liver over here?
The wall is closing in, brother.
No.
That's the way it is. You live a long time, and then, you can do okay for a long time, and then all of a sudden something breaks.
But, for me,
it's like anything else.
Something falls off.
It's timed obsolescence.
Like, for me, I look to my family photos, even for my brother now, that I told him to get on the medication. He doesn't want to because he's afraid of the side effects. And I said, look, I'm your biggest example. I never have any side effects. And I look to the photos, all of them, they don't have almost no hair. And, do you guys think, reaching 39 with the hair that I have, do you think I have chances to lose? Of course, no one knows the future. But you guys, I don't know if you guys can see any comparison. Reaching 40 or 39 could be the progression of the hair loss, or there is no indication, or in 5 years I can lose it as well.
Here's the thing. You're already reaching almost 40 with the hair that you have, and a bad transplant and then a repair, and you look like you have basically a full head of hair. So you're doing very well. That's it. You have no idea what's going to happen. Could all of a sudden it turn to shit? Yeah, it's possible, but it's not going to be rapid if it does, in most cases. And that gives you
until 60.
Yeah, it's all just... Listen, we're all in the position of protracted suffering. That's it. You have to accept it. And, we're hoping every day that we can continue to maintain what we have. Most guys who are losing their hair don't make it to your age with a full-looking head of hair.
You're ahead of the curve.
I look around, I look around. All of my colleagues, they went around to Turkey and look so bad. Of course, I'm not the one to judge, but I always tell them my experience, what I passed through, how I used to have a plaguey hairline, how bad it looks. You can't style it, You're self-conscious. You look yourself in the mirror. You're spending money. You know what I mean? But they don't care, I like to sleep good, and it's just. But for me,
you have to see my peers. It's frightening. Okay, it's just the way that it is. Now, I have a few friends that I grew up with who kind of got on the finasteride bandwagon relatively early with me, maybe about a decade after I started. And these guys look great. I don't know if this drug somehow helps with, and I've said this before, with skin aging or I have no idea, really. No one wants to tell me. I've asked plenty of people. Go ahead.
I think it's true because I'm 39. I've been on a drug for almost 6 years, and I don't have any wrinkles. Everyone asks me if I have Botox. No, I never done anything. I just put the moisturizer in the morning and my sun blocker, and that's it. I eat keto, and that's it. I don't do anything. But I think, there's something, anti-aging about. I don't know if the testosterone, the raising of testosterone can look the man more older, in the long run. I don't know if there is any correlation with that. But, for me, actually, I was saying I'm under stress, not just because of work, and unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, I have a son and he's facing cancer at the moment. And for me, that, is playing lows, in my head about the stress and everything.
You have a what?
And
You said you have a son?
I have a son that he has cancer. He has
I'm
cancer
so
at the moment.
sorry to hear that, brother.
And it's just, I know the hair is not nothing. I'm just calling as well to distract myself.
Of course.
Just to to focus my of course now hair. I wouldn't mind to get bald. To give to my son to be cured, but it's just to distract myself, to think in something else. To put my focus in something else.
Well, listen, I understand that. I'm really sorry to hear about your son, and I hate to say we have good thoughts and prayers for him. That's what people say, but I know it's got to be tough.
It's stage 4. It's stage 4. He has a glioma, but he was misdiagnosed in UK. He lost his vision and he cannot walk. But we are doing. It's just only 10, But we are doing everything. We're trying alternative treatment. Of course, you guys heard in Joe Rogan, ivermectin, methylene blue, possibly,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's loads of people with stage 4 cancer being cured or in remission. And we CBD oil, we are doing our best.
So have you gotten your hands? Have you been able to take ivermectin? And there's also another something with a P.
Mebendazole.
Yeah.
Mebendazole. Yeah, we are. We pay for a program that comes from USA that they test your blood. So basically, because I'm a nurse, we can take the blood and we send to America. It's Dr. Peter Solak. So basically, he takes your blood. Himself is a cancer survivor. He had like a brain tumor, just 1% to survive. He took these drugs and is in remission. And we took my son's blood, and they test for all the allergies, all the DNA and everything, and they send you. Actually, this quite can help hair loss too. They send you all the list of, for example, foods that you are allergic. You shouldn't be eating. Other foods you can eat on the green list. Actually, medication you are allergic, and you don't know. Herbs you are allergic, And they check all the vitamins you are lower, and they send you all the supplements. They do a compound supplement specific for your blood test.
And how long has he been taking the treatment?
No, we're going to start now. We're just waiting for the supplements and the nutritionist and everything. So, each day,
Well, do me a favor. Call us and let us know how. I'm curious, but I also, I kind of believe in some of these alternative treatments, especially with that particular drug.
Do you have any friends or anyone that personally that being cured or being in remission, even you, Joe, with these new medications? I know in Canada there is loads of doctors losing the license because of this to prescribing this medication off label, or the license gets suspended because basically there is no studies or anything, isn't it? But I don't know if you guys have any friends or any close person to you guys.
I do not. I wish I could tell you, but I will tell you that I did take every time I got COVID, which I think was twice. I did take. I had a stash of it back when it was.
Ivermectin.
Yeah, back when it was like really taboo, and I got better pretty quickly. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't do anything else.
Exactly. We spoke with a doctor called William Mattis. He's from Canada. Actually, he lost his license. The Canada government went to try to close his bank account and everything because he's healing loads of stage 4 cancer and saying that the COVID vaccines, is a mess up. They give loads of people they taking the COVID vaccines turbo cancers. That those cancers, they are real difficult to treat.
For the sake of Joe and this broadcast, I would have to say that I think those vaccines are terrific.
What do you mean? in killing people.
Yeah.
So, I am a nurse,
Well said.
I am a nurse, and I've seen so many people because I work in accident and emergency, we call INE here, and in UK, and I saw so many people with the vaccine coming to the hospital with COVID.
Yeah.
and worse.
I don't I don't
but-
know anyone in Canada that's offering this, but I will say that a former colleague of mine, she and her husband found out that her husband had stage 4 cancer. I don't remember what kind it was. It might have been bone cancer, like really serious. And no one in Canada could offer up a solution other than chemo, the standard treatments,
Yeah, of course.
and it wasn't doing anything. So this woman, I've always respected her tenacity and her diligence in various aspects. She started doing her research, and she was determined to find an answer. And she found a doctor in Argentina that had some sort of alternative approach to treatment of this particular kind of cancer. I don't know if he has multiple variations on approaches, but she packed up the family and they moved to Argentina. They learned Spanish. They completely transformed their lives. I think they moved there for at least a year, enrolled their kid in school while they're down there.
That's cool. Yeah.
And while it has, and this is just based on, I'm hearing this from mutual friends, while the cancer has come back, it did go into remission for a few years, and it wasn't supposedly it wasn't even possible for that to happen. So there was a major improvement, albeit not permanent, from this alternative treatment.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is
What?
the
I'm sorry.
so-called miracles, isn't it? That is the so-called miracles because the standard treatment you just have radiotherapy and chemotherapy that lowers your immune system. So basically, you're
Yeah.
you don't die from the cancer. You die from, for example, a virus or something like that. But just one more question, guys. Just not occupy. This is a hairloss show, and I'm talking about the other thing. What do you guys think about methylene blue?
Methylene blue.
About what? Oh,
Methylene blue.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly don't know enough about it. I know everyone's jumping on it. I've heard some issues where it could actually, and I don't know if this is just, I don't know, gossip, but they're actually showing that people who are taking this are taking too much of it. Their organs are turning blue.
True. I heard that. It's the brain and everything.
Yeah, your brain.
The brain barrier, yeah.
So I don't really know much about it. Listen, I have too much on my plate. That's how I feel about it. There's so much shit out there. You got Brian Johnson, who is now. I mean, the guy's got a vitamin for everything now.
Actually, he looks older. He doesn't look younger, too. He looks like someone that had a facelift.
Well, he's definitely had some work done. I understand it. I will tell you this: he's very jacked. I've watched him grow, over the years. But he's really not. He's not old. He's young, to me. And this is what I learned about all this stuff: measurements and numbers are important, but I also think that real life, sometimes numbers don't necessarily jibe. This guy does not eat meat. And I think that's a big mistake. I think in the end...
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And, when he has me on his broadcast and he's like, why do you look younger than me? I'm just going to say, I eat meat, brother. I eat a lot of meat.
I think he's a PRP or exosomes or something like that for the hair.
He does like mesotherapy with dutasteride mesotherapy. I think that he's also doing low-level laser light therapy. And I will tell you, though...
I think he's had surgery.
Do you?
What?
Do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
His hair, because his hair has improved a lot.
Yeah, I think it's surgery.
But you don't think his hairline looks too straight?
No, I don't think it looks too straight.
What? No, I don't think it looks too straight, but his temples seem to have recovered miraculously. And I don't remember... I think what set it off for me was the addition of temple points that weren't there 10 years ago.
I didn't even notice.
Forget the fact that he colors his hair. I mean,
But
and there's nothing wrong with
But
that.
whatever
But
he
he's
did,
doing that to maintain this.
If he did have a transplant, it looks natural. I mean, he looks really. I would say that he's improved over the last few years significantly as far as his appearance, if that's what we're going to focus on. And I think that his idea and his experiment and what he's doing is, in general, I think it's very positive for people because at least they're going to be focusing on living better.
He should eat a little bit of mix. He looks a little bit pale because he's all about vegan, isn't he? Mushroom powders, and all the supplements,
I think he's Liver King 2.0. I'm sorry. Not quite as bad, but I just don't. I look at everything like his message is longevity through biohacking, basically. But he doesn't talk about the cosmetic surgeries he's had. He's not talked about the things that he's done that are not part of the biohacking mantra. They're not part of the longevity through nutrition mantra. And the thing is like I fully say to everyone, if that's what you want to do it, but don't pass it off as don't present yourself as this this bastion of youthful information, maintenance information.
To be fair,
by trying to include this appearance that's surgically enhanced as part of the outcome of this lifestyle.
Sorry, Jay Jones, I'm going to interrupt Joe. To be fair,
I don't believe it.
To be fair, he does put it out there that he's had sculpture, and because he felt his face was being too sunken in because he was the diet that he's on, that he's on TRT. So he's basically on, no one wants to call testosterone replacement therapy steroids, but he's juicing. He's on gear.
Yeah.
And he...
I never understood that term. He's on gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on gear. And he does, IPL, I think, and different laser, fractional lasers and all kinds of stuff for his skin to get rid of skin damage and all that stuff. And he's done that publicly. So I don't think he's hiding that, Joe, to be fair.
But if you
well, and to be fair, I don't pay much. I don't pay enough attention to him to know to be aware of this stuff. But he obviously doesn't make that a part of the daily acknowledgement for how he got to where he got. Like, okay, he mentioned it in a video 6 years ago, or I don't know.
If you don't know what you're talking about, then don't talk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, I think
I'm good friends with him. I get it.
No, I'm trying to get him on the show. All right, don't fuck this up for me.
Like Dave Asprey, and everything. They look older, You know what I mean? It's my opinion,
Well, Dave just had a facelift that he went on the air to talk about, and he's claiming it's because he was so heavy at one point. Yes, weight does definitely. I was a lot heavier. I was a lot heavier too. I mean, I was probably 30 pounds heavier than I am now. I was like an old wrestler. That's kind of the build that I had.
He did a hair transplant to save it, but.
And I was bloated from drinking and all that stuff. My skin should have stretched a lot. The only thing that did stretch, I would say, is my gut skin, for sure. I mean, I have abs again as an old person. And when an old person with abs who once had a gut, it's not what you want it to be. It's okay. It's good enough. But it's still like, yeah, when I could figure this out without them actually cutting my skin off, maybe like shrinking it with an actual like CO2 laser from underneath or something like that, I would do that a little bit. But I would say that I had spoken to Dave Asprey. I had him, on a program. I kind of interviewed him. We had a discussion, and this is the only concern that I have. It's a big one. Whenever he talks about hair, in my view, hair loss medications, natural therapies, hair transplant surgery, he doesn't know shit.
It's like Paul Saladino. You need to put eggs in your hair.
Yeah. So that makes me look at the guy with the jaundiced eye. Now, he also, I don't know if this is true, but he seems a little Asperger-y, like a little bit on the spectrum. So I don't know if he fully understands when he goes out there and pimps out products how cringy it is. Because it doesn't matter at this point because he's done so well in the past that he's able to ride off of all this stuff. But I do find it funny, and I listen. I have to admire the guy for building the audience that he has, for getting people to follow him and to be the sheep that they are, to go to these conferences. Good for him. But to me, that's like an obvious biohacker kind of questionable situation where, guys like Andrew Huberman aren't quite as obvious.
Yeah.
I think Andrew has a lot of good things to say, but anytime he talks about hair loss, bingo, he comes into our wheelhouse. I'm like, man, I'm just constantly disappointed.
Yeah. I think none of these guys, they take finasteride. I think Dave Asprey, he doesn't take finasteride.
Dave Asprey went on his social media and told people, young men, not to take finasteride because up to 20, I think he said 20% or 5%. I'm not sure, but he said a certain percentage, up to a certain percentage, will essentially be permanently neutered by this drug. And he said this on the air, on his social media.
Yeah.
Now, what he doesn't...
I didn't have any problems.
Well, what he doesn't tell people is that he, I think, for himself, irresponsibly used TRT in a way like, taking pellets. That's why he says he lost his hair. Things that an amateur, a TRT amateur would know. You don't want to put anything that's slow release hormonally into your body. That's a bad idea. You want to be able to titrate your testosterone and control it as much as you can. That means using small doses, injections, stuff like that. So the fact that he made that mistake is like that puts it in it makes me look at him with a jaundiced eye. And he jumped into hair transplant surgery. Now I would say that I'm glad that he went to see a well-respected doctor, but the truth is he still didn't do his research. He doesn't know what he's got. He didn't know what he's getting into. And he used some sort of a topical finasteride. I'm not sure if it's topical. I'm pretty sure it was. And he said that he had really bad adverse side effects. But part of that could be that he's currently taking other hormonal therapy, HRT or TRT. And you combine that with something else. Go ahead.
He does a lot of hair. He does a lot of hair lasers to, those red infrared and everything, I think he promotes a lot of that too. That I don't believe, because I heard you guys talking, King. We don't know yet. We don't have any research. We don't know how much power, in terms of energy, we can put in our scalp. Because, it can be, I tried once and I felt, years ago when I felt my hair was falling and I was using one cap, was falling more than the usual. So I stopped it and I sent it back.
Well, listen, here's the thing. I'm probably a decade or older than him. I will outbench him, outrun him, outthrow him. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. The guy could be a great athlete. I don't know. He could be super strong. He can kick my ass. But I will say that when I see these guys, it does inspire me sometimes, and I realize how easy it is to just collect people's money. It's fucking simple, man. There's a sucker born every minute. And when I'm ready and I want to sell, I want to sell some shit, whether it's my, the Kobren shower head or whatever. I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to sell a lot of these things. I'm just going to let you guys know. Like, it's going to be like a joke. Like, look at this. Look what I sold 1 million units. And even if I do that, even if I do that publicly and tell people that this is bullshit, they'll still buy it.
But to be frank, you, Spencer and Joe, you guys are a good brand. For hair loss, you are a good brand. If you one day, if both of you, if you want to sell products or something like that, it will be extremely easy and you'll make loads of money.
Do not tell Joe this, okay? Do not let Joe in on this.
But I think the other part is the conscious. I think I always say to my kids, there's ways to make money. There's one way that you can make money and you don't care about what happens to people, if you are good products or not. There's other way. You make money and you're gonna make way more, but you are selling something that you believe. That you try, you believe, you think is a good product. That is different.
And that's why I am partnering with Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch. I believe in their product. Listen, brother. Listen, I want to wish you the best of
It was
luck.
a lovely talk.
I want to wish you the best of luck with your son.
It was great talking to you.
Please let us know how that goes. I'll say a little prayer for him. What's his name?
Thank you so much. His name is Nicky.
Nicky. I'll say a little prayer for Nicky. All right, brother. Good luck.
Thank you so much. And so sorry to be a long call. Sometimes you just need.
No, it's okay. We're glad to talk to you. We're glad to receive your call and call back anytime. Okay.
And who else are we going to talk to anyway?
Exactly.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much, guys.
Take care.
Have a lovely night. Thank
you. Okay. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye.
That's heavy, man.
Man, bring the room down.
I think about my fucking painting my hair and my ass herpes, and then this kid's got serious cancer. I didn't mean to throw a joke in there about the ass herpes. It's just I'm like a child.
You're joking?
I can't help myself.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. We're a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Yeah, I'm like a 12-year-old. 888-659-3727. But
you gotta one up me.
But definitely separates the wheat from the chaff when you're on a dating world. You put that out there and see if they come back, and if they do, they're a keeper.
Yeah. Are any of them keepers? Just saying.
I had a keeper for a very long time, and I would say totally net positive in my life. I think about that a lot. Most guys are really, when they separate, they are screwed.
Yeah.
You really learn to know who a person is when you get a divorce. And it's either good or bad.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Let me tell you, this person is a loyal human being. Forget about the aggravation in life. That's just the way couples are. But as far as when push comes to shove, absolutely did not try to destroy me. And I have buddies who got divorced. They're living in like these,
a cardboard box.
They were living in mansions. They're living in like a cardboard box now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're driving like their daughter's first Honda. There's one guy in particular.
They're delivering pizzas.
Oh no, they're totally gig economy guys like Grubhub.
Yeah, Uber.
They were making like $2 million a year, whatever they were making, and like there were women they're like, I'm going to get this guy. Anyway, 888-659-3727. Now that wasn't my situation, so I'm very grateful. We have a good relationship. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from? Hey, caller.
Hello.
I hear you.
Hello?
I hear you breathing. Oh, there he is.
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
I'm all right.
How you doing?
Who's this?
First time caller.
Where are you calling from?
Jersey.
Oh,
From Jersey.
It sounds like you're calling from like India or some shit. Talk into your phone.
No. Hold on. Let me get you off the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Much
Yeah,
better.
there you go.
Okay,
Can
much
you hear me
better. Yeah, what's your name?
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on?
Jay,
What's your name?
Jay from Jersey.
Jay.
From New Jersey.
What's happening, Jay?
Jay from Jersey. What's up, man?
Hey, nothing much, man. I've been following you guys for about a year, and you guys kind of held me back from getting a hair transplant. But I finally, man, I pulled the trigger, man, and I scheduled a hair transplant. So I am scheduled with Dr. Doran. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I'll pick one of your guys.
He's good peeps.
Good? You think so?
Yeah, I like him. He's always been part of the IHRS, but besides that, he's always been a very stand-up guy in the industry also. And
I don't know him personally. I've met him twice, I think, at different conferences. But professionally speaking, from a distance, I've always thought he was okay.
Yeah,
as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good work.
And I think he's ethical as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes
I don't know much about him. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, I was really scared. I was gonna do this like about a year ago, but when I started following you guys, like I really started like looking at the other side of things, and I was like, shit. But I've been on finasteride for about 2 years, too, so I kind of gave it a year, and then I was like, you know what, let me look into it, but then I found you guys, and you guys kind of held me back, but then, yeah, I was like, you know what, man, I got to pull the trigger on this thing. So I'm currently like a Norwood 3, and yeah.
And how old are you now?
I mean, the finasteride, I'm 38. I'm about to be 39 in like a couple days. So yeah,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
Here's the thing: you're
thank you.
You're at the appropriate Norwood classification to consider having a hair transplant. You've been on medication for a couple of years. I'm assuming you're doing well on the medication, and you're also old.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You're also at an appropriate age. So you're not a 21-year-old kid who wants to jump into a hair transplant. And so if you're happy with your results, and I'm sure you will be, you could have a full-looking head of hair for years into your older age. So now is like that. Yeah. That's really a perfect sweet spot, I think, to have surgery.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, Joe?
Makes me feel a little better.
Yeah. No, it's good timing. I'm listening to you, Jay, about you're ready to pull the trigger. You found us. You pulled back. And a year later, and taking finasteride, you feel like you're in a better, like you have to do it. But my question to you is, do you feel more prepared? Do you feel like you understand the situation better now than you did a year ago before you found us?
Absolutely. You guys definitely opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And
good.
I have a brother.
I'm glad to hear that.
And
now, I don't want to interrupt you, but who do you think is better, me or Joe?
I like both of you guys. Very informative.
I've got your IP address, Jay. I have your IP address.
Okay.
I know where you live.
I have his phone number.
Good point. Okay. All right. Fair play. No, go ahead.
But yeah. I was actually gonna do it even earlier, but I ended up backing out, man. And I wasn't even on finasteride or nothing like. And honestly, like even before I started finasteride, like the whole internet and the like the post finasteride syndrome and all that. And when I tried finasteride, man, let me tell you, man, I thought I was getting side effects, and I started like freaking out. And it really took me a little, it took me a while, man, to really like start doing research and really look into it, and finally like really jump on that drug, because I was really like, I took it for like. And it wasn't even like the oral; it was the topical. And man, I thought I was getting erectile dysfunction in the whole nine. So, I finally.
Well, here's the thing. I just did a video on this, and I have to edit it. But there's something, you're not old enough to remember this, and I don't even think Joe is. But there's something that was in the news many years ago. It was like this weird phenomenon called penile retraction syndrome. First time, it was in Asia. The first time it happened, it's like Koro, K-O-R-O, look it up. And it was this weird phenomenon in Asian where all these, Asian guys thought their penises were shrinking and they were retracting. And it just, the rumor went from village to village. And it started this mass hysteria effect where hospitals were filled with these, little Asian guys who couldn't see their dicks. And was that, can I say that? But they believed that their penises, that there was some sort of a curse.
You didn't have to exasperate by saying little Asian guys.
Yeah.
That part wasn't necessary.
Yeah. But, but there was like, they thought it was some sort of and it happened in Africa at one point, but it was some sort of like a curse or something that was put on. I mean, and it just, this rumor went through, like thousands of men thought that they were losing their junk. And because they had basically, they had this fear. It created a lack of blood flow. Your adrenaline's kicking in, and your junk actually will get smaller. It's like coming out of a cold shower, And so it was a mass hysteria event. And I don't know why no one really put two and two together over the years. But I was doing a little research about post-finasteride syndrome and this whole idea of people who think that their dicks are shrinking, like there's some sort of anatomical change. And I remembered this, and then I looked it up. It's still available to read about online. I'm like, this is it. the post-finasteride syndrome forums and the and social media is really the new outbreak point of this type of mass hysteria. Now, forget about the post-finasteride syndrome. I'm not saying that's impossible, but the mass hysteria about people's penises shrinking.
Wow, that's a new one, actually. Yeah. I never heard about that one.
It was all based on a rat study where, get this, they gave rats like hundreds of times more finasteride, in milligrams than they would a human being, and not even the size, but the genital weight was 25% less. Their junk weighed less. And so all these guys are putting the study out there like this is some sort of proof that this happens in humans when there's been not a single documented case of any anatomical changes in men's penises. Now, there's a couple of cases of Peyronie's disease out there, but we don't know if it's actually caused by this drug. But it just goes to show you. You brought up an interesting point that you thought you had side effects when you didn't. Mm-hmm. All based on fear.
It's crazy. And it makes me wonder, too, like, is there, like, an agenda or something behind finasteride? Like, because honestly, when I was like 20, man, honestly, I've been losing but it's been very slow. I really started noticing like my hairline receding when I was like 15. And I don't know how the hell I didn't go bald by like 18, man, but it was really rough. And like I remember when I was like around 21, I ended up going to the doctors, and I tried to talk to to the doctor. I was so ashamed, I remember, but I tried to talk to the doctor like, hey, my hairline is kind of going, man. Can you give me some Propecia? And I remember the doctor, man, he just looked at me. He's like, I'm not giving you no Propecia. I don't want nothing to mess up your hormones. And
well, that was correct.
Yeah, at 21, you think?
Oh, you were 21? Oh, yeah. I thought you said you were 15.
I mean, no. I started losing my hair when I was like 15. Yeah.
No, your doctor, unfortunately, was an idiot.
Yeah, man, I know. I mean, I think about it now. I mean, I look back. I mean, hey, things happen for a reason, but I kind of look back and I'm like, fuck, if I would have started finasteride back then, I probably would have never had to deal with a hair transplant now, but, I mean, hey.
Dude, I think about it. If I didn't have to go 8 years into the balding process before I was able to get my hands on finasteride, I'm like, I wonder what the fuck I would look like. Because, my hairline, it recessed, and it kind of basically stayed where it was. It's gone a little back over the years, but not much. Uh-huh. But imagine if I probably wouldn't have written my book or been behind this microphone because I would have been like, it's fixed. And I would have moved on with my life and married some chick who would be like a fat old lady now living on Long Island. It would be a totally different life, I'm sure. But I do wonder, like I find that these young guys are so lucky. They have no idea that they have what they have now, that we could actually treat this. When I was young, Rogaine wasn't even approved, okay? We had nothing except snake oils. That's all we had,
wow.
And prayer. That was it. So to answer your question about if you think there's an agenda, I will tell you that as soon as finasteride came on the market, within a very short period of time. Now, my book came out the exact same time. That's why it was eventually purchased by Pocketbook, Simon & Schuster, because the drug was approved. And so the book came out around the same time that finasteride was approved. And within about a year, there were companies already. Now, I had written about these natural herbal supplements, essentially Pygium africanum, stinging nettle, saw palmetto.
Saw palmetto?
Yeah. And so then there were companies that were making these products, and I thought, okay, this is kind of cool. But they basically took my formula from the book. They're making these products, and there was one company that went on television with an infomercial, basically promoting this natural product, saying that, essentially putting into the world that finasteride has these severe side effects, as opposed to what the reality was, even in the news, that they were very rare. And that kind of started a tidal wave. And all these companies came online, and you would see the message forums, and all of a sudden people were talking about adverse side effects, not post-finasteride syndrome, but just like this stuff can make you impotent, this natural stuff doesn't. And they were all trying to sell their products. And we found out, since I was kind of associated with the message forum world, and I knew the owner of, at the time, the biggest message forum in hair loss, they're telling me, like, wait a second, this is the same IP address, tracks back to an email that was sent to me from a product manufacturer who wanted me to work with them. So all of this propaganda was initially started by snake oil salesmen or guys who were putting together natural supplements. And I would say they were snake oils because they weren't standardized extracts. There was really there's some good products on the market now, but back in the day, they just didn't exist. That's how everything started to unravel. And then, around 2005 was the first reports of post-finasteride syndrome, 13 years after the drug was approved at a 5 milligram
dose. That doesn't make sense, honestly.
Well, no, but that's the history that no one really wants to believe. So I see the mass hysteria. Listen, when I started on the radio, everyone was like, oh, people were buying my books. We sold a lot of books. I mean, a lot, all over the world. Everyone was starting to use finasteride. People were calling this program. It was all positive. There was I remember one guy who had breast tenderness. He thought he had gyno, so he stopped. No one was talking about sexual side effects except a lower volume of ejaculant, seminal fluid. They weren't shooting ropes anymore. They could no longer do porn. That was about as bad as it was getting. And that completely changed. Where the shift came, it's questionable. But I can tell you this, that all the fear-mongering out there, there's probably something to it to some degree. I'm not saying there isn't, that people don't have side effects. But I believe that a lot of these poor guys are really suffering. They're suicidal. They're really suffering because of a psychosomatic issue that they may not be suffering with if this wasn't out there in the ether the way that it is.
Yeah, I agree, honestly.
Yeah. So, I mean, people don't like me to say that. I'm going to get a lot of shit for that. But I honestly believe that. And that is not just because I have some sort of confirmation bias because of my own experience.
Mm.
So you're having surgery when?
Couple weeks, October.
You nervous?
Oh, wow.
Kind of. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I am nervous. Yeah.
You should be. I'm just kidding. Dude,
yeah, I know. I mean, I was looking into this other doctor.
You're in good hands.
I was looking into this other doctor. His name is Dr. Glenn Ross. I'm not sure if you ever heard of him, from New York.
Yeah.
Glenn Ross?
Yeah, Glenn Ross. Yeah, he's not a member of your organization, but yeah.
You mean the guy the guy on TikTok?
Mm-hmm. No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he has a TikTok, but
there's a Dr. Ross
and he's
Kopelman, not Glenn Ross. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, yeah. But yeah, I was kind of weighing my options between them two, but then I was like, you know what? Honestly, I just rather pay the extra money and just go with the better. You get me? So.
Well, I can tell you this. I've never heard of Glenn Ross, but, there was a time in this field where I heard of, I knew everybody. If you named, if you just put down a couple of hints, I would be able to tell you who the doctor is. Now, no idea. There are thousands of clinics out there now.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry.
What?
He's part of a chain, the Restore clinics.
Oh,
yeah, he is, yeah.
Snap. I don't even want to get into that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay, so. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
And of course, they have patients on his website that he had nothing to do with.
Like Harris's patients or some shit? 'Cause I know Harris is like the senior medical guy there now.
They got the Brian Urlacher.
Yeah.
Who was done in Chicago. They got Deion Sanders.
It was done in Chicago before this guy probably got out of medical school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was like 10 years ago.
I know he's a member of the American
of nothing
hair loss. Yeah, something. I don't know. Oh, okay, man.
He's a member of nothing.
No.
Okay.
I founded the American Hair Loss Association. I think I'd probably know if he was a member, but whatever, it's possible.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, I think he dodged a bullet. I don't know. I mean, this guy could be doing fantastic work, but normally when you're working for a chain clinic, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I know. And I kind of felt like I was getting like a little, it was almost like if a salesman was calling me, like, hey, are you gonna sign up? Are you gonna book your appointment? Like it was
Because he was
almost
calling.
like if I was being forced in a way, and I was like, even that right there kind of like made me pull back. Like, hold on, like, why are you so,
Now, so
on it? You get me?
Yeah. So it was the consultant calling you in quotes.
Exactly. Yeah. So. That kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was like, "Damn, but why you calling me so much?"
So a year ago, when you're ready to pull the trigger, but right before you discovered us, did you have a doctor in mind? Like had you been to a consultation and you were ready to pull the trigger, or did you have in mind someone that you wanted to?
Man, I did. So here's the deal. I have my brother, man, but my brother, man, he's more of a he doesn't care, man. So me and him, we ended up going to this place in Jersey, and we ended up doing a consultation. So my brother was in a worse stage than me, right? My brother has like a SMP and all that, but my brother was pretty much bald. So whatever. So we ended up going to this place. So my brother signed up right away. He said, "Fuck it, I'm going with them." I think they gave him. I think they pulled like 3,000 grafts. I ended up pulling out, man. I just showed up with him. Yeah, I showed up with him, but then I was like, you know what? You go ahead. And he ended up doing it. And the results, I mean, it almost seems like they didn't put enough grafts on him. So when the hair grew, it wasn't like even when he got the hair transplant, like we was like me and him were looking at it. We was like, hey, like you're kind of missing grafts there, man. Like even if they grow, you're not gonna have enough. So that's exactly what happened.
Well,
so he ended up going to another place.
To be fair, hang on, Jay. To be fair, if he was bald, as you say he was, like nothing on top and maybe Norwood 6 or whatever, then you're right. 3,000 grafts isn't enough, and it depends on how they distribute it. Like it was the hairline on back into the crown. That's certainly not enough. If they packed into the front half, that's probably enough, more or less, depending on what type of hair there is. But with 3,000 grafts, no clinic can make a bald man not be bald anymore. Like that's just not enough hair, and it's not the fault. It's not really the fault of the clinic. And I believe in being fair in these critiques. Maybe they just don't routinely take more than 3,000 grafts, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like I actually prefer smaller sessions to get to the final goal as opposed to one big session, because the problem might be, what if they didn't grow? Then if you took a big session, or if you had a big session and a lot of them didn't grow, then you don't really have much more to take, and you're kind of stuck.
Now was this a clinic? Was this another chain clinic, or was it local? What was it? What was the situation?
No, this was like some local guys up here. I mean, do I have to? Do you want me to name the clinic or not?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
What was their name? Hold on, I'm trying to remember. It was Eternal Hair up in Paramus. I think it's Paramus.
Yeah, that's that alone, and I'm not saying.
You know what? That's Totowa, New Jersey. Totowa Eternal Hair. So he ended up going there, and I mean, like you're right.
Any company that names themselves Eternal Hair is something that you may want to just question. Yeah, that's all. I mean, they could be great. I don't know.
Yeah, but then after, my brother ended up going to this other place in Miami, and they actually they actually filled his hairline, and he did pretty good.
All right,
looks pretty good.
Good. What are you laughing at, Joe?
I'm laughing at the website because the very first thing that they slap you in the face with, $199 a month for 1,000 FUE grafts.
Yeah.
it's like, bam, baby. It hit you with a sales pitch right there.
Yeah, I know.
This industry is so fucked up, man. It's just. I was talking to a physician.
My eyes to it too.
I was talking to a physician today. I had a lot of phone calls today, and we were just kind of reminiscing about the reality of the industry, and we've both been around for so long, and it's just so bad. It's such a dirty place, man, and always has been, but it's just been scaled to a level that we both just sit back and we're just like, well, these kids are fucked. Well, nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. We can help guys like you.
I know.
We could find, whoever finds us, great. That's the best I can do. I'm doing pretty well on social media, which is great, but half these kids don't want to listen to me. They want to argue with me on there.
Sorry,
I've been seeing a lot of guys on Reddit. Mm-hmm.
They call their FUE procedure DFI, direct follicle implant.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the DHI, right?
And
something like that.
No, DFI, and they have the highest success rate. They have the highest success rate in the industry, up to 98%. That's what they all say.
There you go.
Every clinic says 98%.
Well, this particular doctor was saying how these kids don't fully understand that, the difficulty of just as simple as you think the extraction is, it's not simple. And it's never one size fits all. Every head is completely different. And even in the best hands, if you can get 90% growth rate, that's a miracle in FUE. So
the good thing is that if you're there, you can also inquire about skin rejuvenation, fillers, cryotherapy, facials, skin resurfacing, microneedling with PRP, Botox, lip injections, PDO thread lift, skin tightening, Morpheus 8, cool sculpting, M-Sculpt Neo, Morpheus 8, and laser hair removal if they put in too much.
I'm really glad that our caller chose not to go there, and you're not making him feel bad.
Yeah. Oof.
There we go. Yeah, you dodged one there, buddy. You dodged one. So,
yeah,
good for you. So then, after you found us, you learned a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you had a new perception, a new vision of your future and what made sense. You found Dr. Doran. You're feeling good about it. Congratulations. It worked.
Yeah,
it worked.
I'm gonna definitely keep you guys updated on that. I'll definitely call back in a few.
Yeah,
I would love that,
brother. And, if he fucks you up, don't blame me.
Yeah. No.
And don't blame me because he's not on my list. He's on this guy's list, not mine. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, he did tell me. Look, he did tell me because all right, I'm a Norwood 3. He did tell me that all right about 1,700 grafts, and then he said that if anything, I'll probably have to come back for a touch-up in the future. I mean, I'm prepared for it at this point.
Well, I like the fact that he's being relatively conservative, which some people would say is appropriate. It's really important I think to test the waters of your own physiology, and to see how well you heal from a transplant, to see how well the grafts grow. And it's always better to start with a smaller number that's going to make a significant impact in your appearance, for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of rare today for people to do these. Well, listen, 1,700 grafts at one point when I got into the industry, that was a mega session.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that there are still doctors out there that are willing to be conservative because they understand the true outcomes. They've been around for so long. He's not even that old, but they've been around for so long that they've seen all the patients. They've seen guys that they transplanted 20 years ago, and they understand how this works. These younger guys, I had a guy, I don't know if he's in Chile or some shit. I had posted a poll on Instagram. Essentially, the question was, what percentage of of men 25 and under are candidates for hair transplant surgery? Is it 0%? Is it 20%? Or is it 50%? And you would be shocked at how many people put 50%. But a lot of people put 20 and some people put 0. And this is a hair transplant surgeon. And at the end, when I put the poll back and gave the responses, I said the correct answer for androgenetic alopecia is 0%. And this guy writes me and he goes, that's incorrect. This is a hair transplant doctor. Now, the reality is very few ethical, knowledgeable hair transplant surgeons will operate on anyone under 25. Rare cases that are not just androgenetic alopecia, but say they are burn victims or they have some other type of scarring, they have some sort of congenital condition where hair needs to be placed back into an area or that never grew, those are candidates. So anyway, to get back to, Jordan being appropriate, it's good to find somebody that knows what they're doing and understands this process. And even though you're 39, I mean, one and done may not be right for you. And you may only need one for the next 10 years. 1,700 grafts, if placed appropriately, may do the job that you need.
I hope so.
And you have a lot in the bank. So,
Yeah.
no, you're having strip or FUE?
Oh, FUE.
Okay. Well, and it's good.
Honestly, and you guys make me look at FUT different too. But honestly, being that I wear my hair short at the bottom and stuff like that, yeah, I don't think FUT.
Do you think I want to get my head cut open? No, I don't.
Yeah.
But I also know that if I decided to get a hair transplant, it's possible, depending on the number of grafts I needed. Would I go for an FUE first, knowing that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get to get a strip out later? I might, because I'm also older, so and the healing process would be more difficult for me getting a strip right now. But you're older, 1,700 grafts via FUE is very reasonable, and it's going to be taken from your sweet spot. And that's possible. But once they get into 3,000, 4,000 grafts or whatever, they have to go outside of your safe donor zone. So you're good. I think you picked a good doctor. I wish you the best of luck. Get back to us and let us know how you do.
I appreciate you guys. And, I'll definitely keep in touch, and I'll keep listening.
But if you don't do well, lose my number, okay?
Oh, yeah, no, I'll definitely be calling.
You don't do well. We never talked.
Yeah.
You never talked to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
guys.
Good
Wrong
luck.
number.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Jay. Bye-bye.
888-659-3737.
It's good kid.
See who this is. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Bill from just outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Dell?
Yeah, Bill.
Bill, how you doing, Bill?
Oh, Bill.
Yeah.
What's up, Bill?
Yeah. Oh, not much. How about you?
Whatever. Doing a
Can't
little show
complain.
here.
Yeah.
You say just outside of Atlanta. Where exactly? What town?
Cartersville.
Okay, I know where that. I used to live in Peachtree City.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I got
and family.
So you'll know a little
and
bit.
families
about,
from Statesboro. So you're my peoples. Nice to hear from you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks. I just had a quick question. I'm 67.
Sure.
Had multiple sessions done back in the day, like in the 90s. And so you can imagine how my donor area looks, since you know a lot, both of y'all know a lot about hair transplants. It was before they refined it like it is now. Even back when I first started them, they were just basically drilling the plugs, the plugs, and not even sewing them back up or anything. So I've had a lot of those. I'm 67 now.
Okay.
So this was back
Who'd
in the
you go
90s,
to?
And I went to multiple different places. The first guy I went to was in Atlanta, and his name was Dr. Baymiller, and he's I'm sure he's long gone. He's the one that did the drilling. And then after that, that was before really the internet or anything. So I just ended up going to Bosley, and they did several also where they sort of punched or drilled, but they would sew that up. And so then finally I started doing strip, the strip surgery, and I've had a few of those done also. But like you was talking earlier, back then, it sounds crazy, but and I didn't have much money either, which I'm lucky because they probably would have ruined me. But Bosley would do a couple hundred grafts.
Yeah.
No clinic would do that now. But so probably altogether, I've had maybe 1,800 grafts. But of course, over the years, that's been a long. I haven't had one in at least I'd say 25 years.
Well, what does your head look like now?
Well, it's obviously I've lost a lot more hair. I wouldn't be totally bald on top anyway. Every male on the side of the male family I've never seen one person on the male side lose any hair at all, even my dad or so I don't know how I got that. Somebody along the line, I guess, didn't have a lot of hair. But I guess I would sort of have that Bill Murray look, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But what I would like to do is I did go get a consult with, actually with a friend of mine you remember the Griffin Center?
Sure.
In Atlanta?
They're still around?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't think it's still around. I think he retired. But anyway, so I went there and I got a consult along with my buddy, and he ended up having a surgery down there, and it turned out pretty good. But I decided, I think I'll wait a while longer. This has been 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. So he said he could, easily get 1,500, 1,800 grafts left. But the problem with me is the donor area where they took most of the grass and stuff is I guess there's some hair above it that's untouched, and I sort of need that to help cover up the scars and and stuff. I'm sure you've seen donor areas like that. But anyway, my question, I'm making this way too long. I think this time, sort of like you're talking about, I've had the scars and the being cut and the strips, and I just don't really want to go through that again. And I think my hair is pretty fine. I think I still got some pretty decent donor area on the sides, either side. But so I think I'm going to go with an FUE, and I'm going to probably try the shaveless since I've got a lot of stuff I need to cover up back there.
Are you going to go with Dan Daniel?
Well, here's my question, and I know probably what the answer is going to be. The main ones in Atlanta are, I think it's North Atlanta. It's in Alpharetta. And then
it's Dr. Daniel.
That's Dan Daniel.
Okay, yeah. Is he pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%. He's a good guy too.
Okay. Well, here's my other question.
I'll go ahead and I'll go and interrupt you, Bill, and say that as of today, he's actually an accepted member of Hair Transplant Mentor as well. I've decided to work with him, so he's yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. The facility, I've just seen it online, and I thought about getting a consult with him. But here's another. This is what all this. I said all that to say this. A friend of mine, and I know this guy's reputation has really took a hit in the last couple of years, but a buddy of mine actually had a session done with Dr. Cole about a year ago, and I mean, I think it looks great. I don't know if he still, if it was just a hit or miss type thing, or if he still does good work. So that the guy you mentioned and Dr. Cole were the two that I sort of had it narrowed down to, because I think they're both the most, from what I can tell, the most experienced. And I've heard of Dr. Cole, for years anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, what makes you say that his reputation has taken a hit?
Well, just he. I don't remember if it was if y'all were interviewed. I don't know. It just seemed like I was watching a show one time,
I mean, when he
6 or 8
called
months
the
ago.
show,
Yeah, it was your
that
show,
sounded
right?
like he was drunk.
Yes. Yeah, that was your show, right?
Well, look, everyone's got a bad day once in a while, you know.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that. But, I mean, I was actually still considering him because I think he might still really be good. You know, so I don't know. I mean, that's sort of was why I was calling.
Look, just
y'all
as long as you
see.
go there, just check, make sure his hands aren't shaking. You're good.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
look.
Well,
I'll be clear about this because there have been misinterpretations about how I feel about Dr. Cole, and Spencer as well. Neither one of us has ever critiqued his actual surgical ability, not once.
Right.
It has never come under fire. It has never been critiqued. He has good hands. He's experienced, and he produces natural work. No question about it. Never said otherwise. His bedside manner, however, depends on a number of factors that I won't go into.
I would say you probably want to get a burner phone for the situation.
Yeah,
You know?
it seems to be hit or miss depending on what things may be going on in his day.
I understand.
That's all I'll say about it.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, bedside manner, I mean, unless he's just a total asshole, it doesn't really matter to me. The outcome is way more important to me than I would rather have somebody like that than a really nice guy that wasn't very good. You know, so
you know what? That's actually a good attitude to have because one of the things I hate reading about on forums or Facebook or whatever is a review of a patient's experience with the doctor, and one of the first things that they lead off with is, he was a really nice guy. He really listened to what I had to say. That means nothing. I hate reading that because it's just like, okay, so basically he stroked you, and you felt good about it. Right. Good for you. That means that's zero indication of how your surgery will turn out. Consequently, on the other side of the spectrum, you do want a doctor that's going to be direct about what you're getting into, instead of having a lackadaisical attitude of, well, we're going to throw some hair into it. No, you don't just throw hair into something. You're doing surgery, okay? And what I would stress to you, Bill, no matter whom you're talking to about your surgical options, is if something is suggested to you as a method of repair, and let me preface the rest of this by saying I'm a repair patient. I started out having 2 bad surgeries, looked like a clown with ant legs on growth hormones sticking out of my hair for a hairline. Like I looked terrible. I really did. In my 20s. So this does have a little bit of a personal slant to it. But you're in a position where you can't afford to take risks. You can't afford for there to be ambiguity about the effectiveness of an approach. You can't afford to have nonchalant suggestions about possible approaches to your case. Not only does the doctor you're speaking with need to have concrete confidence in what they're doing, they need to be able to back it up with verifiable cases that they can show you where the same thing was done. If they can't do that, then you need to get your happy ass up out of the chair and walk out, because you can't play around with this, Bill. You can't play around with it. I know, like with regard to Dr. Cole, he's done some really nice repair work. No question about it.
Well, that's one reason I was actually leaning towards him, because I do know he no doubt knows what he's doing. I think he's obviously a smart guy, and I'm sure he's seen hundreds or if not thousands of cases exactly like mine. So I think he would know if there's enough hair there in the right places, and you know what I'm saying. Like you said, I mean, if I go to the wrong place, they could ruin me because my hair is pretty fine anyway.
Well, you should have a consultation with both of your choices, and
that's probably a good idea.
And see what you come away with. This is my advice, also.
Okay. Well,
this is what I'm going to say. One guy may actually badmouth another. Don't even listen to any of it. Just make your decision based on skill sets. And while it's not nice that someone would do that, and it's kind of pathetic, and it's probably going to happen, that should not be part of your choice. You know, I mean, that's a character flaw. It doesn't have anything to do with whoever says that skill set. How's that for being diplomatic?
I will suggest.
Totally agree.
I will suggest, Bill, that you added a third name to your list of candidates to speak with.
Yeah,
and that would be Dr. Jerry Cooley up in Charlotte. It's a short drive.
Oh yeah, you know,
it's a short drive.
I've heard of him for a long, long time, for years, but I didn't really. I wasn't sure if he still did the FUE, or I think he mainly does strip. I may be wrong about that.
He does. He has decided that he's going to not offer FUE as a primary procedure, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't offer it for cases where a smaller number of grafts are appropriate for fine tuning or for repair work, things like that. Like the guy is just he's a real artist. I've known him for, like, personally, I've known him for 10 years, professionally for almost 20. He's as good as they get.
No, what I don't like to do is,
just a good guy.
You had already come to us with your short list. So I never want to put anybody in a position to say, well, you should check this guy out as well. But there's also another guy in Atlanta. You know, you should just get as many consultations from decent doctors as possible.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you got Ken Anderson in Atlanta that you could speak to as well.
I've heard of him also. I think he's in Alpharetta too, or maybe he's got two places. Maybe one in Atlanta and one in Alpharetta.
Yeah, he's in Alpharetta.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, that's another. Listen, the more information you have, the better. Now, I know you have your short list, and your short list is good. But I think Joe's right. And, you know, I mean, Ken's out there as well. And you can kind of take all that information and see, okay, who's telling me what and what makes sense.
Well, I appreciate that. And that's one reason I called. And I don't know how many of those actually do, the non-shave FUE.
Dan Daniel, from what I understand, he really likes to specialize in that.
That's 70% of his practice, actually.
Yeah, I've seen that on his website. But the only two that I've actually
and then another doctor will claim that he invented it. Anyway,
well, I think I know who you're talking about. But but anyway,
throwing it out there.
I just wanted to make sure that, you know, y'all know way more about this than me, and your opinion. That's why I called, because it matters.
Well, here's what I learned also. It's really important for you to make the right decision for yourself. So whatever someone's character is, or no matter how many, you know, if someone tries to destroy somebody's reputation or whatever it is, or if they're, you know, called the program drunk, or that should not be part of your decision-making process.
I understand, but it is a little bit of it did sort of bother me a little bit, you know, when I was thinking about doing this with him, because my buddies, like I say, his turned out really well.
Yeah.
And I say a year, you know how it's probably been a year and a half ago, but I thought his turned out really nice. And so that made me.
The guy has produced excellent results for a very, very, very long time.
Right. One thing that did cross my mind is, because a lot of people, even a lot of good doctors, just general doctors or surgeons, don't have a good bedside manner. You know, they
well, there's not having a good bedside manner, and then there's another situation. But yes, you're correct.
I know exactly, because I've actually been to doctors that were just almost unbearable.
Yeah.
But well, now I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, that doesn't matter so much to me as the end result, which of all of those, he would probably have the most experience. But like I say, I do definitely. I don't know if Dr. Anderson does the no shave. Do you?
I don't think that is something that he really focuses on. So I would say, I could be wrong. He may be listening. He can correct us if I'm wrong. But I would say the person with the most experience with no shave from your short list would be Dan Daniel, because he performs that on a consistent basis.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely. I may, like I say, I may go see the other Anderson and Cooley also if he does the no shave, because I just definitely. If I didn't have previous scars, I would have no problem with shaving.
Of course,
there's just a lot back there. It'd be very obvious.
I get it.
And there's no way to cover that donor area out. So, but anyway, one other thing. What would be on the no shave? What would be a decent size session? All I'm really wanting to do is lower the, I guess the widow's peak, you'd call it.
Mm-hmm.
I want that lower, and I've got high temples, and maybe just bring them down a little. I do not want that's one thing I didn't like when I went to when Dr. Griffin done my consult. He drew the hairline way too low for me to have a lot of, not a totally bald crown, but it's very, like say, a Bill Murray looking thing. And I just thought that would look very odd to have a lower hairline and be bald on the crown. So, but what would be a decent session for a no shave, like 1,400 grafts? Maybe?
I mean, it really depends on your particular situation. We can't really take a look. We don't have images. Yeah. But
what I'm saying is,
go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I know that takes long. I know they can't do which I wouldn't want this anyway, and I don't have the donor area, but I'm assuming they can't do a 3,000 graft session on a no shave, because it seems like it would obviously take longer.
Well, it does take longer, but I mean, Daniel's pretty proficient, I have to say.
Okay.
So I'm not going to say he's going to suggest a 3,000 graft case, or that he can do a 3,000 graft no shave case in one day, maybe multiple days if he decides to do that. But whoever you're going to speak to, from the names that you've given us, they're going to give you what would be considered an appropriate graft count for your situation. That you could be pretty confident in.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I really appreciate it, and I listen to you guys all the time, and I really enjoy your show.
Well, listen, brother, I appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
Best of luck. Feel free to call us back and let us know how you do.
Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Thanks again.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Take care, Bill.
Fucking king of the hill, brother.
Yeah, God bless him. Good man, Bill. I wish him all the luck.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. He doesn't seem too adversely affected by it.
Yeah, but wish him luck.
Now we have
call us
another
back.
call.
Let us know how that works.
We have another call. I don't know if I want to hang out for too long. I mean, I could do for like 5-10 minutes at the most, if you want to take it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hello, this is Omer from Israel. How are you guys?
Omer, how are you, brother?
Omer!
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
I actually just wanted to remind you, I called you a few months ago telling you that I had a procedure done with Dr. Seti. It was about almost 3 years ago. And Joe, you told me if I can send you some photos to your Instagram. Actually, for me, it was a bit difficult to capture all the flaws that I wanted to show you. So that's why it kind of took me a while. So I texted you 2 weeks ago. My question is, you just said that you don't have much time, but I was wondering if you can just if you can just have a look and tell me your opinion, if it's possible.
Okay, let me see here.
I can tell you the date if you want, and if you want, you can show it. I don't mind. And second question,
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just to make it easy for you, it was August 23rd. I sent it to you, and maybe it's the next question will be better if you view my pictures. But in general, I will ask you if I have some bad angles in my hairlines. Do you think it's better approach to remove them, or to just transplant around them, or third option, just something in between? Just take out the really bad ones and just, implant around and try to fix it.
Joe's silent. He can't. He can't.
I'm
multitask.
sorry. I'm looking at what you sent me. I'm looking at some previous conversations that we had. I'm trying to. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. So. How many grafts did you have again?
4,200.
4,290. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. A few months ago, I spoke with you on Bald Truth about my hair transplant. As you asked, I'm sharing pics 3 years post-op, showing my concerns with density and angles. Okay, so right. So, all right, Omar. One thing I'm immediately noticing, and thank you for the photos. Like they're very clear. I look at pictures like this, and my first question is: do you wear your hair normally like this out in public, or are you, or
No.
did you mess this, or did you style your hair so that I can see it in its worst condition? And it's an important question because when I see photos like this, okay, all right, you got some photos here that are styled. Okay, never mind.
The thing is, I've gotten that question. I haven't had a transplant.
Sorry.
Okay, and then I'm trying to find. I don't have.
Just to mention, maybe I wear a hat usually, and maybe I took the pictures after wearing a hat for a full day, maybe. So the hair might, angled in a certain way, but I don't blame the head, because even if I comb the hair, and I have some other photos where my hair is combed, and you can see the angles are sharp, it doesn't complement my face. Even when I put my pictures on ChatGPT, it tells me the angles are too sharp. It's like some angles are wrong, and it doesn't complement my facial structure, and I agree.
Yeah. I'm looking at your before photos here. Hold on just a second. I'm just gathering. God, you had a good donor area. Holy smokes.
I hope it's still good,
Your donor area in your before pics, looks like a beaver pelt. My God. Woo. Wow. Okay. So I'm looking at, so you had major temple point reconstruction. You had the frontal third, and your temples, actually just your temples done, hairline lowered, and then your crown all in one shot. And that was in yet.
Like no area is like I can say, okay, this area is done. I'm finished with it. Now I need another area to be treated. Like nothing is complete.
Okay. So what would you? So what's the first question you have for me about your result now?
Do you think that the angles are angled bad as I mentioned, as I think they are?
Well, in which area?
Mainly in the hairline.
Okay, in the hairline, it's
like the hair doesn't communicate with one another, you know, like it's one goes this direction, the other one, and not to mention it's still not full. You can see a lot of...
but those are two different situations, okay? Hair angulation and fullness are two separate issues. So on the first question you asked me about the angles, honestly, I'm like, it's kind of hard to see in some of these photos, but the fact that you can brush your hair forward in some of these photos, that's a good thing. And what I can see with how some of these hairs are angled, they look appropriately angled.
Okay.
And I'll tell you that flat angulation or flatter angulation, I think the term is obtuse, flat against the scalp. That's actually what you want, because when you have low angulation, it lets less light through into the scalp, assuming you have full growth. Okay. What I'm seeing here is actually not bad as far as the angulation goes. The problem I see is a lack of density, and based on your before photos, I mean, if I recall, if I go back into your before photos, it looks like you had a native hair in the front, like an island, what we call a frontal forelock.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks like that's thinned. So it doesn't justify the temples and the lack of density there. But were you on medication at all, the finasteride or anything like that, and then stopped it, or did you change things, or have you been on it at all?
No. Always I'm taking the medication. Always, I never stopped, and even I added more medication and more things to just intensify whatever I can. I'm doing everything as far as medication. I never stop. I know the importance of that. So that's not the issue for sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a deep dive that we could do on that, but overall, my opinion of your result is that it comes up short as far as the fullness goes. I don't really like if it was a fuller result, I don't think that you'd be complaining about angulation. I think the angles are fine, more roughly. Like I can't see 100% what's going on, but from what I can see, I don't see any real problems. Even the temple points look like they're placed fairly flat against the side of the scalp, which is what you want. They're not sticking out, which is common.
It does stick out. Sorry to cut you. It does stick out. It's very difficult to catch it on a picture, but it does. Sometimes it's
fair enough.
Going not. Yeah. So.
Yeah, fair enough. But if I can't see it in the photos, I can't say it looks bad. You know, I mean that's the problem. I'm dealing with photos, and so
Mm-hmm. I can somehow hide it if I use like even water and take it back, you know.
Yeah.
So.
And just so you know, listen, just so you know, and just so that everyone that's listening or watching knows, temple points are notoriously difficult to get right 100%. And the number one challenge with creating natural looking temple points is getting them to lay flat against the scalp. And some doctors may not like me saying this, but it's almost impossible to get that actually truly flat against the scalp. Even my temple points, which are considered to be very good temple points, when they're longer, they do stick out a little bit. They're not perfectly flat to my scalp. But that's just a limitation of the mechanics of placing grafts. They have to come in at a very flat angle, and it's difficult to do that surgically to where it's as flat as it would have been natively. So there's always going to be a little bit of a flare on the temple point grafts. It's just a matter of styling. If you want them to be perfectly flat, a little bit of gel or spray or something to get them like smack dab flat against the side of the scalp. In your photos, I don't see anything worse than I've seen with good outcomes. It doesn't look bad at all. You're saying the photos don't show it. I get it, but if it's difficult to catch on a photo, maybe it's not that bad to begin with. Just throwing that out there. Maybe it's worse. I don't know. But based on what you've sent me, I don't see a problem with your temple points or angulation in general on your hairline or anything. I think overall the design is good. You just don't have the growth. And you probably have some loss as well. What that's from, and when I was talking about the deep dive, we could do a deep dive on your medication. You do have additional loss compared to your before photos. So that's for two reasons, or one of two reasons, maybe not both, but definitely one of two. First reason, your medication is not as effective as you think it is. Maybe it was changed. Maybe the source of your finasteride came from a different source. Who knows? But even changing finasteride from one manufacturer generic to another, that can cause problems because of if one isn't as effective as the other. The other issue that it could be due to is shock loss from the needles that they use, damaging native hair that was already growing there. Unlikely, but not impossible. It can happen to any doctor, no matter how good their reputation is. So there is something going on as far as the continued loss. It doesn't mean that your result that you have now is due to that continued loss. I do believe that there was a failure in the growth of some of the grafts, but it's difficult to see what that failure would be because you also had all those grafts placed throughout not just the temples, but your temple points. There was a lot of grafts there. Like just looking at your photos, I would say that you had a minimum of 750 grafts used to rebuild and bring forward those temple points, maybe even 1,000 grafts, like 500 per side. That's very possible because that was a pretty aggressive build. So subtract 1,000 grafts, just roughly speaking, from that total. Now you're at 3,290 grafts to build the temples, which also had a lot of work done, and then to also fill in the crown. So you're taking what looks like a large number of grafts that really isn't a large number of grafts, and you're spreading it out over a massive area. So I think that there is an issue with maybe not enough grafts, but I think maybe some didn't grow as well. Overall, more grafts were necessary regardless of how good the growth may have been if they all grew. That's the way I look at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I totally agree. Okay. And I wanted to ask you if I continue with a different doctor and have another surgery. This is what I asked you in the beginning. What if, I will need some kind of correction surgery? Do you think it's better to remove some of the grafts and then re-implant, or just implant around the existing grafts, or something in between, like a combination of both? What do you think?
Well, if you had angulation issues that jumped out at me as being obvious, then yeah, you could take some of them out. But don't be in a rush to remove grafts because that creates complications for placing grafts, because you have these open wounds that you're trying to you have these open wounds from trying to remove grafts and clean up the angulation, but you're also trying to place grafts immediately around that area, and that kind of disruption can kind of compromise things. It can be difficult to place there. The best way to go forward, like if you have offending grafts that are not only misangled but also multi-hair grafts that might be in the way of something, I would go in and have those removed first. And if you do have any grafts placed someplace, don't place them in that area. Like have the work done in a different area of the scalp, so that those extractions don't get in the way. But I'm a big fan in taking baby steps on these on repair cases. So if you need to have grafts removed, go to the clinic, just have some grafts removed, heal up, enjoy the change and the increase in naturalness, and then go back or go someplace to have another proper session that is not a repair, is just to basically start from scratch and fill in the gaps.
I see. Actually, I was considering Dr. Cole, but I kind of I heard what you guys said earlier, so I'm just reconsider. And anyway, I wanted to have more consultations with other doctors. But
again, to be clear, there was no, like, I've never criticized the work that he's done, his skill set, his experience, none of that. So make your decision based on something other than that, because that's not, I've never said that. And I always want to make that clear, because the last thing I want people to think of any doctor is that I'm criticizing their skill set if it's not warranted. Doctors that have a good skill set, they deserve to be recognized for that, because it's not that common. But I do believe in some cases doctors can have certain qualities that prevent them from being what I would consider to be an ideal candidate for a hair transplant surgeon. Just saying. Anyway, so look, Omar, I appreciate your situation. I'm glad you called in on this. We need to get going because Spencer is he's getting hangry. He's texting me behind the scenes saying, "Dude, I need to go eat. I need to drink."
No, I'm not. I actually decided to just order a slab of ribs. That's what I decided to do. I could just go out drinking later if I want. So I'm ready. I can take more calls. I am here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, I think we covered it, Omar. I can't really say much more because your photos don't show much more.
And since we started late,
based on what I've seen,
I'm willing to take another call as long as Joe is not hangry.
Okay.
So thank you very much, guys, for your time, and really appreciate your work and advice and ethics. Thank you very much.
Well, good luck, and say hi to Dr. Cole for me, okay?
I will.
All right.
No problem.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling from Israel, man. That's awesome. Have a good night. Man, it's late in Israel right now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah,
we'll take one more call, because I was like, you know what? I really want to go out to eat and deal with the whole nonsense, or should I eat? And then if I want to go out, I'll just go drinking.
It's 3:30 in the morning in Tel Aviv right now. That's a fan.
Yeah, but he also wants help.
That's a fan. Yeah. Couldn't we just leave it? It's a fan.
Like, he is a fan, but he also wants help. I would do the same thing. Hey, you're on the air. Who's this, and where are you calling from? Caller, what's up? I'll give you a second.
Nope. Okay.
We lost you, all right? It's a 972 area code. You try to call a couple of times.
Where's that? Area code 7. Alpharetta, Georgia. Oh, just kidding.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Looks like it's Plano, Texas, actually. Yeah, Dallas, Texas. Okay. More calls.
It's gonna take a while for my food to get here. Do you want to do an Instagram Live?
Okay.
Really? Holy cow! Okay, guys, if you're listening, go over to my channel on Instagram. It's going to take a second. Guys who are calling in right now, we're going to take your call on Instagram. So we're going to stop for a second. I'm going to have to set this thing up, and you can hold on if you want. It should take me about 5 minutes.
You're a bad guy, a bad man. You are a bad man, period.
What?
All right, guys, until next time, be strong. God bless. Thank you so much for listening. Follow me and Joe on Instagram. I'm at Spencer Kobren. Joe is at Joe Tillman Official. And we're going to do a live Instagram stream live thing in about 5 minutes. So if you're on
and don't forget to like this broadcast and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel.
Yeah. So if you're on the line, hold on and don't listen to what we're saying. All right, guys, until next time, be strong, God bless, and thank you so much for listening. Have a good night. Oh, man, I screwed that up.
Inconvenience you may have been put to prior to the program, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you could now leave by the exits at the rear, that'd be splendid. Thank you.